If you see the guy like doing this, and then just like looking, and then blowing up randomly, that's me.
You know, our previous game, Warhawk, of course, multiplayer only, and has a really strong multiplayer community. Actually, interesting note, was the first game that I've worked on in my career that built up a community around it, which was a really neat experience because we have some pretty rad fans.
I worked at Sony for 9 years in San Diego, and we used to play Warhawk every day for lunch for years at a time. And you know, I have to admit, I got pretty good at the game.
You know, Warhawk still has a very active fan base, and we can see, you know, how that's evolved over time and, you know, what people really enjoy about that gameplay. And those have influenced the design decisions for Starhawk. Certainly we want to make sure that the people that play Warhawk will migrate over to Starhawk and feel that, wow, this is great, you know, this is even better than Warhawk, and we'd feel bad if we somehow left them behind.
Because we don't want to fracture the community. That was something we learned from Warhawk, that we want to try to keep the player base as tightly coupled into the same pool of players as possible.
You know, with Starhawk, we'll give you a place to enjoy it co-op. We'll give you a place to enjoy it by yourself. I expect a large percentage of those players are going to go online. And at this point, what we're doing is adding content, say for certain solo missions, as well as continuing to refine what we already have.
Go. We'll go. Like that, and then there'll be some like readiness thing.
There's a lot of play testing going on a number of different fronts. We have systems set up to record the game screen and also record the face of the player, and those things record in sync. So we can see people reacting to stuff. You can see someone get really frustrated, or you can see them laugh at a moment, or whatever it is.
Did you wait? Camera rolling?
Okay, so right now I'm monitoring an external playtester who just play tested one of our missions. I try to watch and see if there's any common issues that they have. We generally tend to focus on the negatives more so than the positives because the designers can work with the negative stuff.
The footage and then the feedback that we get back from those people is really valuable because that's really essential to the process, and that's where we get, I think, some of our biggest benefits. Now that's pretty single-player focused playtesting. We just do a ton of that, and we're going to keep doing a ton of that until the game is done. On the multiplayer side, we try to pull as many members of the team together as possible and play the game.
We'll do playtests for fun. We call those hate sessions. So we'll have everybody get in the game, play it, everybody write down notes of what they hated, then we'll go meet in the conference room and everybody just run down your notes on what you hated.
Because we don't get caught up in the stuff that we like. We all have fun playing it. But I think a lot of games go wrong because they did not have enough critical eye on removing the stuff that sucked. So that's really kind of the focus of where we're at.
We're more interested in hate than love because those are the things we want to fix. The things we love, fine, we'll leave those. But the things we hate, we're going to see what everybody has in common about it, and we'll try to address those.
We have a blast when we do multiplayer sessions.
They're a lot of fun.
You know, you got these guys on your butt and they're shooting you, and then all of a sudden you lay down like a turret, you know, and just mow them down. I mean, there's nothing like that.
We're ready to go get the flag. There wasn't anybody around, and the whole thing was walled off. Like, okay, that's pretty clever. I hadn't thought to do that. Bones was on top of the wall waiting for me, and so I didn't get the flag.
They give you all the toys you want, you know. It's just up to you how you want to play with them.
Build walls, I'm going to build some turrets, I'm going to call some guys in, and you're kind of directing the action as opposed to being in the middle of it. It's a ton of fun. You can do the same multiplayer level hundreds of times, and it can be different every time.
The kind of mayhem that you can really unleash in this game, it makes it a lot more interesting and a lot more chaotic, and I like that.
And all this stuff is just dropping in from space around you and building up, and there's kind of a lot of racket and dust and impacts and stuff, and it feels kind of cool. And when all of the dust literally settles, there's a base here where there wasn't anything before, and that feels kind of neat. So it's not just, I want a gun. It's, I want an entire base. I want a whole strategic approach.
And so we're a third-person shooter, first and foremost. But we also give the player lots of different ways to participate in that action.
I ended up with a flag for some reason, and then, oh my god, dude, I had to sit in a bunker while the other team, while they tried to dig out the other flag.
Mark, get back inside the bunker. What are you taking down?
Oh my god, man, just got yelled at by everybody on my team. What are you doing?
Mark, get inside, Mark! Mark!
Get back in! Get out! Get in! Get out! Get in! It's like, good lord.
Mark! Mark, get inside that bunker!
Get in the bunker! Get back in the bunker! Look at this. Look at that. It's too much stress, man.
Spanking. Here they made it feel really like a personal thing, you know? Like my 3 years of work is going to hit this crescendo when we can unveil it to everybody, and everyone's already super excited about it, so it's really cool, you know?
I know that we've put a lot of energy and time in it, and personally I feel attached to it, and personal bias aside, I feel objectively that we have a really good game and a great thing that I want other people to see and experience and feel the same excitement that I have.
We have a lot of Warhawk fans, we call them Warheads, and they have a lot of questions for us, which we try to answer. But our bar, no matter what they say, is actually higher than anybody's. And we are our own worst critic, and as we go forward, we're just going to be that much harder on ourselves.
The Warhawk multiplayer community did a lot of things for us. Frankly, this may sound kind of sappy, they did a lot of things for me. I mean, my career is a very different thing now than it was before then, and my outlook on game design is a very different thing now than it was before.